Hey video game fans, this is Matt back again for another Fallout New Vegas player guide. I think that's what I'm calling it. First player guide, tips and tricks, or how I like to do things. Once I get the music to stop, I will update you all. So we had some issues. After the last game, where we left off, I was intending on going back to Nipton and gathering up stuff and coming back to here. I'm at the Mojave Outpost again and cleaning up some stuff, completing some of the quests. And then I was going to go back and basically just going to wrap up. I was just going to do some cleanup off stream, just do a lot of looting and stuff that isn't all that exciting to watch. But then I had another one of those save game freeze ups. And when it reloaded at the last autosave, and the last autosave was coming out of what was it? Out of that little shack, the raided farmstead. Is it the raided farmstead? No, Wolfhorn Ranch. That's the one that has the little plants outside. And it's kind of on the hillside and has the little grave up on top. So I had to, it saved it exiting that. So I had to go back up the hill, loot the little ammo thing, loot the grave again, go back down to the highway interchange that's there, the overpass, which meant it put me in with that group of caravanners again that got attacked by the Legion. Remember last time in my last recording, the caravanners were getting slaughtered, and I ended up joining in and killing off some of the Legion and further angering them. Well, this time in this spawn, the caravanners didn't have any problem, killed them easily, so I didn't have to get involved. I looted their bodies, sold the stuff to them, continued down the road. I want to take you to some of the stuff that is between basically where we were at Wolfhorn Ranch and Novak, or the ranger station and then Novak. And so it froze up along the way. So when I came back, I intended to start you off at that point, just after all that stuff encountered, and things were going fine. But I was having other issues, besides the supply issues, having to constantly sell stuff off. I started getting desktop notification pop-ups, and I was like, oh, this is ruining the video. So I scrapped that. After I'd recorded stuff going all the way into Novak, and when all this stuff started to happen, and I decided, heck with it, I'm just going to skip all of that. We'll cover it later. I started hopping back. I went back to Nipton. I did all my scavenging that I intended to do anyway. I did all that off screen. I finished that up. I hauled that stuff to the merchant, sold it off, went back up to Novak. Didn't really do much there. I was just starting to explain how to approach Novak and stuff to do in Novak, like going to the mailboxes and stuff like that when all this crap happened. So we'll just cover that later, because I didn't want to go that far anyway. I wanted to do a little backtracking. So I went back to Nipton, and I ran outside of Nipton, intending to run home or whatever. And I saw I had some enemies in the horizon, and I engaged with them. Well, I thought I was going to avoid having the assassin squads come at us from the Legion, and it turns out, yeah, they're really not happy. Even though I didn't get in that second fight, they're still out there. And so I decided to go through, in part of my playthrough experience, I want to show you, as long as they're still ticked off at me, they're going to continue to send assassin squads at us every couple of days. And I'm not on a very high level. It's not going to go real well. But I have different strategies for that too. Things that you need to know. I have engaged in these assassin squads so many times in certain areas, and I find that there are certain spots I like to engage them in. I'd much rather get them in these reliable, defensible situations rather than out in the wilderness when they come up on you by surprise and you're just not prepared. And one of the areas that they come close to is at the bottom of the hill, where these guys, the merchant sets up shop. They'll be in the distance in Ivanpah, and they'll kind of hang out in a distance until you reach a certain point, and eventually they will. You can use your long range weapons and hit them before they even get within visual range of you. I don't really have a long range weapon that's capable of that. I don't have a sniper rifle. I'm going to try to fight them off with an incinerator, maybe some mines I'll throw out there. I have a baseball bat if they ever get into melee. Unfortunately, I sent all of my excess weapons and gear. So right now, Eddie is completely empty, and my inventory, if you notice, is down to 114. I had it down to like 60-something, but I decided I better regather up some of my weapons and ammo. But that's about all I have on me right now is weapons and some ammo. So the idea is utilize me and Eddie and these two people as extra guns for this fight. So I waited through the night, saved the game, got it so I was at morning, so these guys are going to come down. And it's basically going to benefit you on two fronts. One, well, as long as the merchant survives, you're going to get in this fight, you're going to be able to kill these guys, and then you're going to loot their bodies and turn around and sell their gear to the merchant. I'm going to see if I can put some mines out. My extra senses. See, there they are. I'm not going to be able to do that with this. But they won't come too close to NCR stuff. So that gives us an advantage. Now, here's the deal. This is the first time they sent them at us. This might just be a warning. Shit. Stop stepping in front of me. I might have to reset this, because if I take these guys off, they're probably going to attack me too. I was not prepared for this to happen. On the in the Xbox, they usually keep their distance a little bit. They don't just run right up to the campsite before we get there, but oh, there's an energy weapon thing. What is it? Explosives, guns, survival, energy weapons. Well, the merchant died. The guard's still here. It is possible they were just going to show up and chat with us, but because those guys were there, they started fighting. No, stop it. Yeah, I'm going to have to reload. Totally okay. Got a little bit of time anyway. All of that was because the stupid guy stepped in front of me when I was shooting my incinerator and torched himself, and then all of a sudden that's why part of the reason why I do not like fighting with followers is because they're just going to do what you do. Oh, you attack them, so I'm going to start attacking them, even if it was a complete accident. But anyway, this is one of the reliable places. They always will attack at that point. There are a handful of other locations in the Wasteland that I've engaged with the Legion Assassin Squad enough times that I like it. There's a spot on the outside of the wall of McCarran, on the outskirts of outer New Vegas, where if you're far enough away from the fort, you'll see the assassins, and you can lure them in closer and closer to the point where they start attacking the guards that are on the wall of McCarran, as well as the guys that are patrolling outside. And I'd much rather engage in this assassin squad with 4 to 6 NCR troopers to back me up, rather than just taking them on alone. That's another one of my favorite locations. There's also a spot, I believe, outside of Novak, where I can. It's not so much. So when you're outside of a population, like that one Gas and Gulp place, you don't want to really draw them into merchants too quick, too soon, or too close, because if they kill the merchants, those guys are dead forever. But bringing them in against respawning NCR troops, that works out fine. I'm pretty sure if these guys die, they'll respawn. I'm not positive, because they do just go up and down the hill over and over, so it's possible or not.
Hey there, need anything?
But, still having the extra guns is definitely helpful. My biggest problem is I got to make sure I'm geared up when the fight starts. I want to up my energy weapon, up my damage, my armor. Make sure Psycho is on. I already have shortcuts for my healing stuff. I don't have my binoculars. But anyway, as I was saying, if I encounter these guys, I don't know, somewhere on the road between here and Prim, or here in Novak, it's possible they're just going to run up and threaten me and say, you've been warned, mess with Kaisar's Legion and we'll be back, and so forth and so on. But I'm like, heck with it, let's just get it on. If you kill them, I think you'll basically have a good 24 to 48 hours safe passage until you have to encounter them again. I think that's every other day that they will send them after you. I don't think it's every 3 days. I think it's more persistent than that. A similar thing will happen if you really, really tick off the NCR. They'll send some squads after you as well. They're not quite as brutal about it. You really have to tick them off in order to make it. The Legion, on the other hand, really don't give a flying. They will just attack you just to attack you. Okay, now the trick is to get them to come back. Damn it! It's just too close to where they set up. Too close to where they set up. Last time these guys didn't even get down there before we got attacked. They never crossed that car that's in front. Oh, those little frag mines don't do a whole lot of damage anyway, so it's not going to be the end. The real advantage is that if they step on them, they might get critical hits to their legs and force them so they can't run. They do like to run in close. I got to put the mines a little farther out. Unfortunately, the second I go past that car, that's when they appear on the horizon. So I'm going to take another run at this. I'm going to put the mines out again. Speed up time a little bit. Where are they at? Oh, maybe they're already down there. I don't see them. They're not blipping. Maybe I should see the Brahmin plus the other two. Oh, there they are. Ugh. I'll have to wait another hour. Waiting the time didn't do anything. It absolutely did not move. It's so messed up. Whoa. Oh, is that just a cactus? Looks like a guy standing there. Ideally, I want to encounter them just as these guys are showing up. I don't want them to be there already, because that's what caused the problems last time. Oh, we also got a damn scorpion. Oh, it's a dead body. Alright, back to my frag mine strategy. Hopefully I'll do some damage to these guys initially. Justin, oh frig. Come here, Eddie. I don't even want Eddie to get out there that close. Hopefully they'll keep his distance this way. Ideally, I want them to draw them directly to me. Okay. Energy weapons. Med-X for damage resistance. Psycho for extra damage. Rad away, just get rid of any extra rads I'm carrying with me. And if I was shooting them, I'd probably throw in some turbo too, but right now I don't need that. Screw this. Oh, they killed them both. Okay, how am I going to get out of this? Oh, turbo will help. And what is the melee magazine called? Unarmed? No. Guns, I'll probably use that too. We're still good with Psycho. Critical hits, that's good. That's turbo, folks. All right, we're switching over. Where's Eddie at? All right, well, he killed the merchants. Oh, I stopped Eddie way too far away. That's why he wasn't helping out. I didn't want to get him too close into combat. I should have placed him around here. Oh, well. Anyway, this is one of the chokeholds. That's how dangerous it is with help. I still got 2 people killed and had to burn through a ton of my own healing stuff and boosts. Well, that's, yeah, too bad. Hopefully they respawn at some point. I don't think Eddie will take any of that Caesar armor. But he'll be able to help us with a lot of this. That giant sledge weapon. Alright. Okay, Eddie, let's see what you can carry for me. No, I want the incinerator. He'll carry helmets, but he won't. I don't think he'll carry the regular Legion armor. Nope. He won't carry faction armor, so. But for some reason, helmets are fine. So expect another attack like that in a few days. Now, if you're just starting off in this game and you make the mistake of running afoul of Caesar's Legion, all that really means is it's going to put you into high gear to get into Vegas. And that's a good segue because the next 2 things I'm going to show you are quick ways of getting to Vegas. There it is. That stuff's heavy. Oh, we're right at 210. Right at 210. I could fast travel, but it's just as quick to run up this stupid hill at this point if you're this close. Besides, it gives me a chance to explain some stuff. There are 2... There's more than 2, but there's 2 surefire fast routes of getting to New Vegas, and you can do this anytime. But I've been putting it off until now for a couple of reasons. One, when you take the northern route, there's a camp that really benefits if you have explosives as a last resort, or a decent ranged weapon, which I really don't have, or a decent flaming weapon, which I do have. Having at least some of those in your inventory will help. Having Eddie can help as well. I'm not sure if I don't like in hardcore mode you can lose your followers. I don't like throwing Eddie into combat if I can help it. I'll let him assist me in easy combats, but I don't want to throw him into heavy combat if I can help it. Especially not until he gets upgraded. The other route is one that I just found on complete accident, thinking, oh, this will be easy enough. And then I found out it was really hard, and then I found an easy way through it. I'm going to enjoy showing you that one. Ooh, a GRA 5.56 pistol. Yes, sir. Bladed gauntlet. 2 more incendiary grenades. That's all she's got for weapons. Let's see if she's got any more playing cards. I already played her in a game and won. Alright. I don't want any of this Legion crap. I got her a nice 3,000. Hunting rifle's a good weapon. So, varmint rifle with all of its stuff, because you can get a silencer and a scope, night scope. With all of its bonus stuff, a sniper is a varmint rifle is your first decent long range weapon. On its own, it kind of sucks. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it uses fairly easy to acquire ammo, and it's got good range. It requires you to burn through a lot of ammo, though, to really do damage. I wouldn't use it, for instance, to take on a Deathclaw. It takes forever to kill them with a varmint rifle. The next one upgraded is a hunting rifle. Hunting rifle doesn't have a big scope. It doesn't have night vision. I don't even know if it even has a silencer. But it is a long-range weapon that uses 308 ammo, which is high-damage sniper caliber ammo. It does very good damage at long range. It does utilize the 308 ammo, which you really want to save as much as you can, because that once you get a sniper rifle, you're not going to use a hunting rifle again, because the sniper rifle's got all the bells and whistles. Huge damage, long range, nice size magazine. You can get a lot of kills with it. It's one of my favorite weapons. Anti-material rifle uses a different caliber and is also a really powerful long-range weapon. It's also an incredibly heavy weapon. I would also recommend that. But hunting rifle, pretty nice. I'm going to definitely utilize that. But these other things, I don't need. All these helmets, don't need.
Background?
In fact, another little tip, if you see 308 ammo being sold, start to accumulate it. By the time you're level 4, 5, 6, you're probably not going to have a gun capable of using it, and it is pretty heavy if you acquire too much of it. But if you see merchants selling it, get it, because you're not going to find very much of it out in the wild, as it were. Sell off all the weapons I never use. All the armor I'm not interested in. 10,000 caps worth of goods. Yay for me. Okay, quick wanted to... Yeah, my armor is crap right now. That fight took a lot of damage. Okay. We are ready.
Hello.
To head back to Goodsprings. Now, when I was at Novak, I sent all of the excess gear that I had that I wanted to keep, but I was tired of carrying and tired of Eddie carrying. I had a decision. I could send it back to Prim, or I could send it back to Goodsprings. I sent it back to Goodsprings because that's the next place I want to go over. And so all of the stuff I sent came back here. And you'll notice it come up in the upper left-hand corner, all the stuff that I sent. It's a lot of stuff. It's not really stuff I want to sell. It's just stuff I don't want to carry with me. I want to make sure. I sent two different loads, and I want to make sure that both loads came. I want to make sure it didn't glitch. It doesn't usually, but, you know. Yeah, one duct tape, then 6. That's probably 2 different scents. Some specific things I'm wanting to see here. Oh, the different raw vegetables I sent in the first. I want to make sure I see raw pear, raw carrot, all that stuff. Actually, while I'm here, This is a good time to see if any of this stuff is craftable. Pretty sure everything is coming. Yeah, if there's fresh carrots, I'm good. Okay. Recycle some fuel. Recycle some cells. Break down some ammo that's... high caliber ammo. That's fine. It doesn't weigh anything in its components. It only weighs something when it's in actual ammo form. Alright, now basically I'm going to send this stuff back to Novac, because at some point that's where I'm going to pick up where we're at, and that's where I'm going to have... I didn't get my hotel room yet. I didn't want to show all that off. This is where I'm trying to decide what things I want to take with me and what things I definitely don't, because I'm really not going to need this stuff. all these explosives are really going to be weapons of last resort, but I'm going to take them with me nonetheless. I'm going to take the hunting rifle, even though I don't have a lot of ammo. Incendiary grenades, those are good. Incinerator's good. I'll burn through all that ammo. There's not enough of it. Long fuse, I could probably do without. I could probably just sell that. Another word of advice for new players. Make sure you're not utilizing like a rifle and a handgun. You know, you like to have a handgun for your close-up fights because it's faster firing, faster reloading, and you want your rifles for long-range combat because it does higher damage with less armor. It'll have more puncture armor and a better chance to hit. Make sure you're not utilizing the same ammo for both, or you're basically double dipping. If you're using a 357 rifle and a 357 pistol, you're burning the candle at both ends, and you're going to find yourself short of ammo. So you want to make sure your whatever your long-range weapon is, it's not burning the same ammo as your short-range weapon. Same goes with energy weapons. A lot of the weapons will utilize the same. Oh, I can sell that. I'm going to sell that. I won't need a pulse grenade. The reason why a recharge rifle is a damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. As a weapon of last resort, you can carry it because it doesn't require any ammo. So you can always just fall back. Once you've run out of ammo of your primary weapon, this is your fallback. The downside is it does weigh 15 pounds. And that sucks. Yeah, I'm going to try to get by without my shotgun. So, okay, that's the weapons. I am taking 357, but I don't have anything that fires 44 or 50 caliber. Don't need as many rounds. I'm not carrying any shotguns, so I can get rid of anything that says gauge. I don't have a 40 millimeter grenade launcher. Am I using a 5.56? Good question. Yeah. I'm going to keep the armor-piercing armor for that. I'm not using a 5 or 9 millimeter or EC pack. Am I keeping any energy weapons besides the incinerator needs fuel, the plasma pistol needs E-cells. I'm selling that. Never mind, I don't need E-cells. Okay. You wouldn't have to go through ammo at all if you weren't playing on hardcore, but I'm playing hardcore, so I apologize that this is kind of annoying that I have to go through this periodically. 3 pounds is good. I don't need MF cell. I don't have any way to launch those. Okay, then we go through the miscellaneous crap, which is where a lot of the rest of the weight comes from. This is all stuff that's mostly going to go into my hotel room until I find a way of utilizing it. Really only care about stuff that weighs something. Aid. Most of the aid I actually want to keep, but I am way overloaded, so I'm going to have to get rid of some stuff. Basically, anything that weighs several pounds is probably something I can live without. I'm only keeping dirty water because at some point I'm going to convert it into clean water, purified water. So I really don't need all of that. All the fresh stuff, save it until you have a recipe that can utilize it. Magazines don't weigh anything. Most food items are okay until you accumulate enough of them that it starts weighing more than a pound. And that's like, yeah, I don't need to carry around any of that. Don't need to carry around any of that. Pork and beans. I don't need any more than a couple of purified waters. Oh, keep the rushing water. You can use that in combat. Increases attack speed. I didn't have that on me last time. Okay, stealth boys I'm going to need finally. I'm going to take those with me. Alright, Sunset Sarsaparilla is a secondary healing item for me, but I don't need that many of them. In fact, I'm going to get rid of a few more. I'm still not liking the fact I'm carrying so much. A lot of alcohol. A lot of alcohol. Keep the ant nectar, never get rid of that. Oof, don't need any of that, don't need any of that, don't need any of that. Now we're down to 150 pounds. Okay. And I don't need any of this stuff. Now I'm down to 140 pounds. I have to... That's okay. Anything extra I can give Eddie.
You looking to buy some?
I just realized I haven't emptied Eddie out either. Okay, I want to sell him my extra plasma pistol. I don't need it. I think that was it. Also want to see if he has any new mods. Chainsaw mod. I don't have a chainsaw. Sometimes I buy them ahead of time, sometimes I don't. It just depends. So, because like this, he's got the laser pistol optics and recycler. Which thing do I got? I have a laser pistol mod already. I don't like doubling them up. I have the focus optics. So don't buy that one, but I'll go ahead and buy the recycler. That kind of turns it into a... it doesn't fully recycle, but it's like every 4 shots it replenishes ammo. So it's a nice thing to put on. It's just like I have a plasma pistol recycler. I might have already gotten that. Well, I can always sell it back if I do. Those don't weigh anything. There we go. Varmint rifle extended mags, just in case I decide to soup up my
Thanks.
varmint rifle. I said shoot because I forgot to... is there anything here I wanted to send along as well? Yes. That's fine. Just keep that in case we get to a campsite. More stuff. I should have gone to him first. To Novak. Okay, I don't need the 44 mag. Don't need that much dynamite. I got rid of all my 40 millimeter grenades. Well, I can't do anything about it. I still got to give Eddie my shovel. Okay, the only other thing I did was ammo, I think. I don't... Oh, no, I did have some miscellaneous. Duct tape. Pilot light. Scrap. I think that was it. And then ammo. Fusion cells. Energy cells. 9 milli. Regular. I'll keep what I have for 40 mil. No gauge. No gauge. 44 and 22. All right. I am leaving Eddie behind for this first one. I don't need him. And in actuality, he'll be more of a detriment than a benefit. I'm going to run to this one just so you can see where I'm going. Speaking of something I wanted to know. Yeah, there is no run. Running is just moving. You can sneak, or you can move at full speed, but there is no difference between walking slowly is just not moving your stick as far. Oh, there might actually be a rad scorpion up here. I don't really want to fight the rad scorpion, so I'm going to try to avoid that. Coyotes I don't care about. They're going to leave me alone if I leave them alone. So remember those powder gangers that were on the road earlier? They weren't hostile. Oh, actually, they're not hostile to me right now either. I forgot. I haven't completed my mission for the powder gangers. That was one thing I hadn't done. I haven't done the showdown yet at Goodsprings. So this is one of my 2 tricks. This is the one I kind of discovered on my own. I did not ask for help with this. I just found a safe spot for dealing with the death claws. And one thing led to another, and I found just a really quick way. Day 1. Basically, you can leave Goodsprings as long as you have 1 stealth boy. You can get to New Vegas on the first day. You need to have at least 1 stealth boy. Might help if you have more than 1, but you have to have at least 1. There might be one in the Coyote Cave on the edge of town. You might be able to find one in town, but God, I couldn't. It's going to be a random find, maybe in a safe. I don't know. They're not easy to find, but you might find one in the body of the Bright Follower that's under the bridge here. I don't know. They like to have electronic stuff, and that's an electronic thing. There is okay, first off, this is Sloan. This is where the miners, right over the hill is the, behind this is a big rock quarry that's overrun with death claws. You cannot run on this road straight to Vegas without running into death claws and having them rip you a new one. They're scattered all over the place, day and night. There's some in the bluffs in the area around the corner. You just cannot linger in this area. Trying to draw them back to Sloan, fine, but they're going to rip through these miners just as easily as you. So I'm going to quick do a save. In fact, I'm going to do 2 just in case. Okay, this is kind of a mad dash because of the scorpion infestation. There's a lot of scorpions up here. You want to go far enough or close enough to the scorpion area that you want to stay away from that area. You want to stay away from the death claws. I don't worry about bark scorpions. They can do whatever the heck they want. Up this hill where that big radio tower is is littered with nightkin, so you don't want to venture into that area. But right along this ridge over there is a spot that you can climb up, jump up, and be above. The Deathclaws can't get you. They can't climb up there or get over there. If you really, really wanted to, you could shoot at them from there and kill them off. But and stim packs, and I don't think there's anything. Oh, I do have some healing powder. We'll put that there. Now you can fight your way through these rad scorpions, or not, whatever you want. What you're really trying to do is create speed. You want to angle your way towards the Nightkin camp, but don't go to it. You just want to stay away from the road because that's where the the Deathclaws are. You got to get up here on the ridge. You're okay down here. But you need to get... Okay, now I'm on the ridge. You're far enough away from the Nightkin that they don't even know you're up here. But as you get closer, you're going to see red things to your left. Those are going to be Deathclaws. Right here, they can still get you. Uh-oh. There we go. Here's the ledge. You're absolutely safe up here. They cannot get to you. They will not figure out a way to get to you. But if you notice, they are all over the place down there. Let me switch to a rifle. It's not even letting me, but you can see them crawling around down there. You're on caution, but it's not blinking. They don't know you're here. They might sense your presence, but they don't know you're here. You're also going to see that there's some more down here. That's unfortunate, but that is what it is. The trick to this is to travel. Basically, you want to get to that electronic, that big or power line. You get to the power line, safe and secure. That's where you want to hit your stealth boy and turn it on. From that point on, you're running blind. They can't see you. They can still sense your presence, and you're just going to make a beeline for the buildings. And if you're lucky, you'll make it. I won't say that this is a 100% guarantee, because there is the possibility that they just happen to have one wandering around in front of you and you run right into him. That's a possibility. Can't do anything about that. The idea is to just stay hidden. You're sneaking. You see the caution on there. There's two things you need to do. One, hit the stealth boy, and two, get out of stealth mode and start running like a bat out of hell straight for the buildings that are down there. Like I said, day one you can do this. Now you might be able to pull this off without a stealth boy, but once you get exposed out here in the open, those Deathclaws are really fast and they will chase you down. It's safer with a stealth boy. Oh, this is good. This is very good. Unless there's one right in front of me, I might be able to make it without even using a stealth boy. Usually, when I'm playing on the Xbox, I start seeing that caution light blinking by the time I get to the tower, and then I start running. But my stealth score might be just high enough that it's not. I'm not seeing anything. There's nothing red on my radar. We're good. Hey, I managed to get over here without even using a stealth boy. But trust me, that's not a guarantee that that's going to work for you. Those death claws have detected me in those hills a lot. And trying to get over here after they've detected you is really, really tricky. Once you get here, you're safe. Once you get to Repcon headquarters, and the thing is, even if something does manage to chase you, you will have robots patrolling this building, and they'll help you out. They probably will die, but what do you care? Oh, that's trick number 1. You could have done that day 1 coming out of Goodsprings. You just climb up in the bluffs, creep along that ridge, and if you're lucky like me, you didn't even encounter anything. Usually, like I said, I have to run. Once that blinky light goes on, that means one of those death claws is chasing you. And when you know they're behind you, that's scary. They will rip you a new one. There's no way on foot this early in the game you're going to hold a candle to one of those. And there's Vegas. So you're on the outskirts of New Vegas once you reach this point. So you could go in. As I said before, if you run afoul of Caesar's Legion, you want to get that off of your... we want to clear that up. The best way to do that is to go into New Vegas, get yourself to the Strip, which is going to require a hefty dose of caps. Because they'll prove that you have the ability to spend money at the casinos. Otherwise, they're going to keep you out. But there's plenty of ways to get around that too. You can get a passport and get yourself in there. I'm just going to loot a few things off of Cassidy's little caravan here. Nothing major. I mentioned the area that I like to be for another assassin run. This is where I was talking about. This is a good area to get between the NCR on my right and there's raiders on the left, and they will do firefights periodically. And as long as you have NCR guys, they're still alive, and there are as well, you notice, up in the tower. The area that the assassins will spawn is on the far side of that overpass. They will gather right around that corner, and they will basically chase you into this area here. They will shoot at you as long as you're in this area by the fence. If you're too close to the NCR, then they'll back away and go back. But if you engage them in a firefight, they'll keep coming and keep coming and keep coming. And eventually you just keep backing up, shooting. Eventually they'll start shooting at the tower. The tower will start shooting at them because there's also a guard over there too. Between the 2 guards up there and all of the guys that are over here, you can draw them into a much favorable combat situation. So there's no reason for me to show you that again. Since we're visiting this spot, I can just tell you that that's... Okay, it's a good loot here. The raiders have a lot of energy weapons, so they sometimes can really rip through the NCR guys. See, a couple of them survived, but a couple of them are dead. These are fiends, and they have good gear. I mean, you can leave their armor and their pool cues, but they've got good energy weapons, lots of plasma weapons. It's a good place to go if you have energy weapons and you're looking for an extra one to help repair them. Meanwhile, the NCR guys will have their service rifles, plenty of ammo. Always get their dog tags. Those will be valuable to you later on. No matter if you fight for NCR, you can turn them in to the NCR quartermaster. Get some experience credits for those. Or if you decide you're a really horrible human being and you want to ally with the Caesar's Legion, then you can turn them into a really nasty gauntlet. But I'll judge you as a horrible human being if you side with them. Gotta remember, I don't have Eddie with me, so... love engaging in these guys in the outskirts. Well, it looks like they held their own. Just one of them. It's the problem when you're not fighting them. It's hard to map them in your head of where they are. All right. Well, that's trick number one I wanted to show. How to get to here in a hurry. That's by far my favorite way. It's the fastest way, and it doesn't require a whole lot of combat. If you really just want to, basically, this is not for first-time players. That going through the bluffs like that is really for people who have played the game before. To me, this is the best way to get to Vegas. If you just want to get to Vegas, get into the game and get your, go to the NCR gun runners, not the NCR, go to the gun runners thing and start doing gun runner missions and start getting better gear. And you don't want to dick around with all of the Goodsprings nonsense and running all over the southern part of the map when you can completely skip all of that and just go right to Vegas and get into it. If you go to the Tops Casino as quickly as you can, you'll get a bunch of level ups. It's like boom, boom, boom. You get a boatload of experience. Okay, so we did that. Now, back to Goodsprings. This is part 2 of what I wanted to show you in this video. The second pathway, I can actually utilize Eddie, so I'm going to take him with. Uh-oh, what the heck killed the Brahmin? I think a scorpion must have gotten too close into town. Does happen from time to time. I'm not going to spend the time to go through all of the mailboxes like I usually do, but I'll hit these up on this side of town. At this point, you're done doing missions for the Powder Ganger, so if you really want to, this is a good opportunity to go ahead and do the showdown here and wipe out the really horrible people who are trying to take over the pleasant little town of Goodsprings. Hello, Mr. Coyote. So if you continue to follow that road, you're going to encounter several groups, a couple of groups of cazadors, which you just don't want to deal with. Cazadors were introduced in this game. They're not from a previous game, and they're based on a real, genuinely real insect. Man, I don't think I can get up there from here. Nope, we gotta go back. You want to get as close to the top as you're allowed to go. This is a Bethesda title that does have the invisible walls keeping you from getting to the very top. But spam that jump button and you can get a little higher than you think. Come on, get up there. Oh, I do not want to have to go down there. Bump, 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 bump. Oh, it is an invisible wall because I'm not getting up there at all. Oh yeah, they're not letting me. Okay, here we go. Back right where we were. Dang it. Well, maybe this is where I can go. I was thinking there was a slightly different pathway, but maybe I'm wrong. Oh yeah, this is where I wanted to be. Okay, we're all right. We're safe here. So I just want to make sure Eddie isn't going to go friggin' fly off. This is another opportunity where I could leave him behind. I can't leave him here because then I have to come back up and have him follow me. I want to make sure he doesn't fly off. It's no guarantee he won't. So there's a camp down there. And this camp's got an interesting little story to unsettle. You're going to have to uncover basically 4 layers of stuff. A group of settlers came into this valley, or wastelanders who are trying to survive. There's bodies of wastelanders down there. There are bodies of Khans down there. Their homeland is located just north of here in a bunch of Red Rock Valley, Cavern, Crave, whatever. That's where their home is, so they came here at some point. There's also raiders down there. Either the raiders came in and attacked the settlers, and then the Khans came in and killed off the raiders. I don't know. There's actually I think a graphic novel that was written to explain what happened to this particular location. I know it's out there. I have not seen it myself, but it supposedly explains the situation. And of course, the 4th layer are the Cazadors. Somewhere or other, the Cazadors came in and killed off the Khans. There's tents down there. Not a lot of loot. Some loot. The bodies are a lot. There's a lot of bodies. Not just the ones around the campfire, but there's a few scattered in the valley above, or behind them as well. There's also a hidden, what do you call them, the hollowed out rock as well. The trick is that they're Cazadors. They're very, very fast, and they like to fly directly at you. They can't get at you up here. If they're allowed to, though, they will get up on the ridge and make their way to you if you get down on an area that is accessible, and I'm not exactly sure if this one is or not. The best way to fight Cazadors, there's several different strategies. Strategy 1. Now, you shoot them in the antenna. You see it's a very low percentage chance to hit, but you do a critical hit on the antenna and they start to frenzy and they'll attack the other Cazadors. So you can turn them on each other. That's a decent strategy. Strategy number 2, shoot them in the wings. Critical hits on the wings or destroying their wings means they crawl. They're still fairly fast when they crawl, but they're not near as fast as when they're flying. But a critical hit on them will knock them down temporarily, and if their wing gets destroyed entirely, then they're forced to crawl around. So those are strategies involving your rifle. Strategy number 2, probably the easiest way, is just to toss a boatload of explosives down there. The explosives are going to blow them up, do critical hits all around. That'll frenzy them, that'll damage their wings, do the whole shabam. Here's the problem with that. As a last resort, that's fine. If you're down to your last round and this is you need to kill them, or otherwise you're going to have to crawl all the way back to Goodsprings, explosives will do the job. The downside is it's also going to blow up every body on the ground down there and scatter all sorts of loot. You'll probably still be able to find most of the stuff, but it does make a whole mess of that campsite. You could use flaming weapons like an incinerator or incendiary grenades or whatnot. It's not as effective as the explosives. It does do persistent damage until the fire goes out. I don't know how much it affects the critical, whether it'll instill a frenzy or not, but I'm going to try using some flame because I'm actually using it quite a bit in this playthrough. I am going to, let's see, I need some water. That doesn't help, but that does. I'm going to save the game. before I start using up all my magazines. A new save. And just to be safe, I'm going to create another one. I'm getting paranoid about corrupt saves. Then, magazines that'll be useful. Okay, let's see what we got here. That anti-venom's going to be important if they get close enough to hurt you, but my feelings are if they're close enough to hurt you, you're already lost. I haven't eaten in a while. That'll help. Okay, we're using energy weapon, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. I'm not going to use Med-X because this is my last one, and that'll be useful against something that's actually going to shoot me or hit me from close range. I am going to use Psycho and Rushing Water. The other thing to be aware of is this isn't all the Cazadors that are in the valley. So even if you manage to kill all the ones that are in this camp, there's other ones up the valley that you're going to have to worry about. So you just don't want to just walk your way down there and thinking, oh, it's all over. I'm a bug stomper. I'm a bug stomper. It's hard to tell where he is. Okay. Out of fuel. Kind of random. Didn't do a whole lot. Dang. I was hoping to get him to frenzy. God dang it, Eddie, would you stop locking me out here? Don't have that many rounds of this. Just trying to hit the wing. Every time he pops out, I want to blast him again. Now he's frenzied. Now he's frenzied. Oh, got him. That's what happened. Hit him in the wing and knocked him down. Got him. Don't see any red blips. It might be okay. I really hate that. I wish it wouldn't lock my friends. God dang it, I hit my stealth boy. Well, there are, like I said, there are more of them at the end of this thing, so it's not without merit. I know that there's a way. I think there is a way to turn it off so you're not, you know, to tag your friends. Here's Chance. Chance's Grave has a unique weapon, Chance's knife. He was a great con. It's his story, I think, that is chronicled in that little graphic novel I mentioned. Anyway, that's where he's buried. That's a unique weapon, in case you were interested. You can always tell what a Cazador looks like on a radar because it's jittery. It goes back and forth in one place. Can I change that? Yeah, it really sucks that it just does that. I don't mind if it does it when it's like in my sight range, like in front of me. I just hate it when it jerks me back around and puts me in reverse. Anyway, it doesn't. Get me out of here. Doesn't matter. He's far enough away, and they're just going to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. That's what they do. Okay, so I mentioned the different bodies here. There's burned bodies of wasteland settlers. So my guess is they probably were attacked by the raiders and torched. And they don't have very good loot. Obviously, they've been picked clean probably, and that's probably why they don't have loot. Hollowed out rock, nothing in there either. Tribal village. Another burned body of a settler. Another burned body of a prospector. Here's a fiend. So it looks like they showed up, roasted the settlers. Do I have any fixer? It's really annoying, but if not, I'm going to have some penalties. I do not. Fire axe. This is like the first place you're going to find fire axes. And then there's Great Khans. So my guess is the Great Khans showed up after the raiders, killed the raiders, and then the Cazadors showed up and killed the Khans. Pool cues. Here we go. See, all of this stuff would be blasted all over Holy Hell if you start lobbing grenades down here. There's drugs. I mean, yeah, it's not great, but I mean, there are different drugs down here, and there are well, regular tin cans are good. Bent ones aren't worth anything. Regular ones, you can make some homemade grenades if you have the right skills. Plus, it just absolutely destroys the bodies of all these guys, and so you're going to end up with pieces all over the place, and it makes it harder to search the bodies. When they're intact, I know I've been here. Now, if you're searching for everything, you take their armor, then you know every naked body you see is something you already looted. But I don't like taking their armor. It's just because it just weighs me down, and it's not worth enough. It's just, let me look. It's worth 4. It's 7 pounds, and it's only worth 4. And Eddie won't carry it because it's faction armor. Already did her. Okay, I think I looted all the bodies. I still have a few more Cazadors to loot. And then there's the one tent. All these big blue tents, they did a great job with these. They look like those plastic tents. All they have are sleeping places. That's it. These 2 tents, though, have a little more. These have legitimate, you can sleep on these mattresses. There's a toolbox there. There's a case here. Some Merc armor and a switchblade. Nah. See, I didn't say it. I said it wasn't great loot. And it isn't. It is nice to get a fire axe if you're looking for an upgraded melee weapon, if that's what you're into. Oh, a lot of these weapons I'm going to give to Eddie. Something popped in there. Oh, the machetes. Yep, I'm already moving. Didn't even need to give it to Eddie. And this thing, see, notice how everything is on a shelf? If I would have lobbed grenades down here, all of this stuff a lot of it would clip out. It'll fall through the environment and you won't be able to get it. So if you want any good loot at all, it's best not to use explosives, but it is what it is. If it just comes down to between looting and killing off all the cazadors, I understand. Also, an explosive will set that off and make an even bigger boom. Be aware of that. The fire extinguisher. Chances knife. Bonus critical. That's a lot of damage per second. Okay, now I don't need all the grenade weapons. Most of that is stuff I'm going to sell. Carry the shovel. Actually, I want the shovel because there's another little thing out nearby I want to probably do off stream. We'll see. Switchblade I don't need. The SIGs. Okay, we're good. Alright, so that's the first step on this. There's actually there's a campsite out there with some good stuff as well, but again, you're going to have to go back into Cazador country. We're not there yet, guys. This is step 1. Can I remember, isn't there another body down here? Maybe not. Might be thinking of the Prospector place always has one, and it looks similar. Yeah, there is a body. Oh no, that's just ground. Alright, there's a farmstead, or ruined farmstead over there, that has some... what are they? Some Brahmin, but there's also, I think, mantises? Yeah, there's some mantises over there. Giant mantises, bigger than the ones that you fought in Goodsprings, that will cripple you. It's the worst thing they can do, is they'll cripple you and then they'll kill you. Lots of wild Brahmin that will appear as red on your map. There's a town over here that's overrun by a gang. You can kill them off if you want. The buildings there suck. I don't even know if there's even a building you can go in. So it's one of the least developed townsteads in the place. Now, from this point, though, you can see Vegas is still off in the distance there. You don't really want to go off in that direction anyway, because there's still dangerous things in that direction. There's good stuff over there too, but really you're really aiming for that space there. If you continue down in this, I'm trying to point easier if you can see, that's the home of the Khans. Now, the Khans aren't necessarily bad. They're not wholly evil. Yes, they're a group of tribals, essentially a gang that's on the verge of being civil. But they're at least people you can deal with. They're not like the Vipers and the Jackals and the other ones that out here that are just all nasty. These guys you can work with, and there are missions you can do with them. So don't go in there guns a-blazing, expecting to kill them just because there was a few Khans that were working for Benny at the beginning of the game. The Khans aren't necessarily bad guys in this game. They're only bad if you bring bad to them. Just keep your distance from the Brahmin. Geckos, not too much to worry about there. They are pretty big.
The Caesar has marked you for death.
Oh, great.
The Legion obeys. Ready yourself for battle.
I did not expect this. Boy, am I not ready for this fight. They snuck up on my ass. Okay, maybe it's not every other day. Oh, shit. I'm going to lose Eddie in this fight.
Come on. Retribution.
Oh, so much for all the ammo on that. Let's see, what do we got here? I lose Eddie, I'm in trouble. FedEx. Psycho. Yes, this is what I mean. You don't want these guys sneaking up on you out in the world. This is very bad. This is very bad. If I lose him, I'm going to have to go back to my save game, which was before we took out the Cazadors, right? Son of a bee. Where is my... Oh, I need Psycho. And where's the gun magazine? Melee, barter, science. There it is. What can I say? I'm a badass. Jet, or what is the there's one of them that resets it. Oh, rushing water, that'd be good. Assholes. That's what they are. Assholes. That's what I said. Wow, did that come at the very wrong spot for me? I was going to kick myself. If I died, well, it would be worse. If I died, no big deal. I can respawn. I'm not worried about me. It's losing Eddie that I was worried about. Poor little Eddie. Red Rock Canyon. That's where the cons have set up shop. Make sure I looted all 4 of these guys. That's 1, 2, 3. Did I get all 4 of them? 1, 2. No, I still only have 3. 3 sets of armor. Oh, come on. Still invisible. That's why everything is fuzzy. Super sledge. Crap. Come over here, Eddie. Oh, I'm moving fast again, but still. Got a whole other body to loot yet. That's not doing me any good right now. Super sledge. God, it interrupted me in my train of thought, too. Where's the other body? Oh, there we go. Screw it, I don't want all that crap. Okay. Before I was so rudely interrupted. So Red Rock Canyon is where you can find the cons. Let's see if I have some Hydra. If not, I'll have to burn through. Oh, there we go. Slowly heal back. I know there's somebody out there saying, "Save the game, you idiot." Yeah, good thing. Good point. All right, so you're on the road in the outskirts, and there's not anything out here that can hurt you. That's not what I was going to say, but that is kind of the feeling I'm getting. And there are more of those little Little bastards. Let's see. Here, it's one of my favorite of the Weird Wasteland stuff. Actually, I don't know if this is Weird Wasteland. No, this is actually a normal part of the game. Here's Chance's map. Well, we already been to Chance's grave. I love this map. He made a map of the wasteland. Including the camps in the far fringes. There's the two guys shaking hands. Powder gangers. There's the powder, the dynamite there. They hold Prim at the time he made the map. Goodsprings, the water, the resource. Sloan, you know, they're bogged down because of the death claws. You got the up the mountain. That's where the night stalkers are. What are they called? Nightkin. So many night things in this. The Nightkin, because there's a stealth boy, and they turn invisible. It's another bottle. That's the rocket. That's the rocket plant, and that's Novak, and that means that's Prim, or not Prim. That's Prim. That's Nipton, and there's the where the Caesar's Legion are currently encamped out on the port. Up there is the 188, probably. Bottle of liquor. That must be where... Oh, that's Boulder. Out there's Caesar's Coin. That's where his camp is, on the other side of Boulder Dam, or the Hoover Dam. And then you got the New Vegas with the Turpentine. And you got the Air Force Base out there. I love that map. It's so good. And there's a hollowed out rock there. Anyway, it's not 100%. Why I don't like this path as much as the other one is that this is not safe. Over here are different gangs. You do not want to get close to them. On the other side of the gas station, that wrecked building, there's gangs there, and there's gangs up the side of the hill. So it's really not safe to go that way. In addition, you have this. If it was just geckos, it wouldn't be so bad, but there's also clusters of death claws out in this area, and you want to avoid them too. These are fire geckos. Don't want to get them close to you. Go. I think I'm going to stop there. We're at an even or an odd numbered level, so there's no oh, actually I got to get through this. There's no perks here. I usually don't keep these balanced, but I want to make sure whatever weapon I pick up, I'm capable of showing you its goods and bad sides. So I keep these. I usually just put all my efforts into one and heck with the other ones. Barter is going to become more important as we go. It's also a prerequisite for a lot of perks. So this is a cave location. Nopa Cave. I can't quit now, though. I have to get you back into someplace safe, because this is not safe. That's not safe. That's not safe. And if I go too far that direction, it's not safe, because there's lots of bad stuff over there, too. Oof. That whole building is littered with bad folks. With bad intentions. Luckily, they don't have a really good radar, so they're easy enough to ignore. You just keep your distance. You're going to see them before they see you, because well, partially because of your own abilities, but also because you have Eddie and his enhanced sensors. So you're going to detect things much farther away than they're going to detect you. And you just really don't like your legs. Now we're a little better off. That's still dangerous. You don't want to drill too far up towards where those that building's okay, but there are death claws out in the little recesses of the valleys where those bluffs come down. See, there's some camps out here that have some neutral people you can talk with. They don't give you anything, and there's some buildings you can loot. But the closer you get to those hills again, you're heading back towards Sloan and the rock quarry, which is right over this ridge. So that's all death claw. You want to avoid the death claws. This is going to tie in neatly. Oh, there's geckos over there that are bothering the locals. We're going to end up back by the McCarran Fort base where we were before, only from a different direction. And after this, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do. I still have stuff to do at Novak. There's all sorts of strategy guides for Outer Vegas, as well as inside New Vegas, both in Freeside and in the Strip. So I gotta play a little bit and figure out. Ooh, yeah, I remember. This is something I should show you. And then I'll start recording, because right now I'm not exactly sure where to go next. There are certain strats I want to deal with at different parts in the game, and it's just trying to remember what all of them are, because like I said, I haven't played this game in at least a year or two, and I haven't really played it hardcore and really gotten into it in probably 5. So I gotta refresh my memory. So that's a great place to stop. Those are 2 of the biggest things I wanted to show people, though. It's pretty easy just to work your way north. Once you get to level 10, 12, 14 maybe, you're probably strong enough to handle the Cazadors and just kill them with your weapons of choice, whatever you chose to specialize in. But it's possible to go up there very early, level 2, 3, 4, 5, if you have the right gear, between the explosives and the flaming things. And I just wanted to showcase that stuff. And the other passageway, I was kind of disappointed that the Deathclaws didn't see me in the hills. Usually they see me and start chasing me, and I really have to make a very scary run towards the Repcon facility. But oh well. You saw basically the next level way of getting there, but that is a great way for returning players, people who have already played the game and gone through the story and basically are like me and just skipping through all the text. If you just want to get to Vegas and get into the heart of the game and getting into the DLC content, because a lot of the game happens around Vegas and it takes a long time to get there if you follow the traditional way that the story wants to go about. And that running across the ridge, we managed to get to Vegas without even using a stealth pack, although I do highly recommend taking one with you, because you're in Deathclaw country, and even having I have been killed even using one of the stealth boys, and just happened to run into the wrong little valley and boom, got clawed to death. That's where I'm going to end this one. Stay tuned for the next one. I don't know exactly when I will start recording again, because I don't have a script now. I've done all the things I intended to do when I started this project, but now I'm like, what's going to be something fun we can look at next? At some point, once we get through all of the things I wanted to hit in the main game, I might even go into some of the DLC content and show you some of my favorite strats in there too. At least some of the ones I've played a lot. Some of them I should probably go look at some videos, because there's some things I don't even know about some of them. But that's where I'm going to call it on this one. Stay tuned. Give me a thumbs up if you like the content. Give me a comment if there's something you want to add. I appreciate the feedback. Thanks, guys.